Hello friends, welcome to ADO.NET tutorial. Now we are in the final part of the sub-series as well as final part of this ADO.NET course. Now we will see how to retrieve data table from DataView. In all these previous videos we retrieved the data view from DataTable using the default view property. We started this sub-series with the introduction of DataTable and how we can extract data view from the DataTable. Then we talked about the example. After seeing how to find a single row and multiple row, we moved on to how the sorting functionality is supported by the data view. You can sort based on multiple columns. You can comma separate the columns, and you can use descending keyword if you want to sort specific column in descending order. Then we saw how to perform filtering, and when you set filtering, I mean the row filter property with a filter text, you can use the syntax of where class. Now let's see. We saw that data view is just a view from the data table, right? We previously used the default view property to retrieve data view from the data table. The view can be sorted or filtered to have subset of original data table. When you filter, in the last video we saw, using the row filter property, you can filter subset of data from the default view or the data table, right? We saw how to sort and filter. It is possible to create new data table from the data view, and we can bind this subset to a new control. We can make a call to ToTable method. So that's the method to extract a data table from data view. So you can also construct the data view. In the constructor, you can supply the data table, but we used the default view property in all our previous videos. But when you have filtered set of row in the data view, you can make use of the ToTable method that will form data table from the filtered or sorted result. That way you can have new data table with a subset of data. So a parent data table, using default view, a view is retrieved. Then you can apply sort or filter, and after that you can use the ToTable method, and you will be getting a new data table that is a subset of previous parent data table. Now let's create subtable or subset data table and assign it to a separate grid. In our example, we have one more grid, right? The top grid is showing all the customer detail. Now we will use the ToTable method, extract subset of data from data table, and assign that to one more grid. Here, if you see, this is the click event handler for ToTable, and we are checking search text is valid. So if search text is empty, we are asking the user to enter the search text. Next, from table customer, we are retrieving the data view, and here is our data view. So let's say this is our parent and data table. Right. So using the default view, we retrieved the view, right? So the data table as well as view both are same at this moment, right? So at present we are showing here the view, right, which is nothing but the complete content of our parent data table. Next, here we are making call to view.ToTable, right, and we are calling that table as a subset. Here we are passing the false. We will see what it is when we are going to the demo. Then if you see here, we are specifying subset of columns. Only 3 columns we are filtering, right? and we are calling this as a subtable. Let's state that here we are picking column 1, column 2, and column 3, and the ToTable method will give us a new data table with only 3 columns, right? View.ToTable. So here view is ready, right? And from view we are making use of ToTable, and we are getting the subtable. I mean the one more data table. ToTable will give us the subset. So now we have a data table, and we call this a subtable, and from that subtable we are once again retrieving the data view, and we call that as subview, and in that subview we are applying the row filter property and doing the filtering. So here we already performed a column filter when we make use of ToTable, right? We have only company name, contact title, and country. Then here using the row filter, based on the filter condition, we may pick a specific row. So if you see, these rows are skipped. That means finally we have the view here, right? Subview that is containing 3 columns and 2 rows. And you can see how this is working. Finally, since we have the subview, we are giving that to the data source property of our second grid. Now let's go to the demo and see how this is working. So here we will test this. Code we already saw in the slide. Alright, now we will run it. So if you doesn't provide any search text, this will display a message box, enter search text, right? There's one mistake here, enter search text, and we have to return from here. We don't need to do anything. Alright, so let's give some search text here, country equal to Mexico. So just giving a simple search text. Now when I go for test ToTable, what happens? We retrieve subset of data, and if you see here we have 6 columns, but in this case we are picking only 3 columns and forming the subtable, and from that subtable we are retrieving the view. Then we are making use of the row filter. To the row filter we are supplying this condition, right? Now when I click search, not search, to test table, the retrieved subview is assigned to our second data grid view. So that way we show subset of data. That's a spell mistake. So those errors are not handled. So since this is just a demo, now let me use SWEDEN, Sweden, and do test ToTable, and you can see we have subset of data that is displayed here. All right, country equal to Sweden. Now we will set country equal to UK or country equal to USA to test ToTable. Again, there is a mistake. Or country equal to USA. And you can see now we have subset of data here with the country equal to UK and both USA that are displayed here. Right? We can retrieve subset of data also, and we can assign that to a separate control. So this is the subtable from our master data table. All right, we are ending this subseries, and thank you for watching. And this is the end of Eduo.NET course. Thank you all.